So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Being Your Own CEO. This is a weekly success circle for solopreneurs. We get together because we enjoy each other's company and we like exchanging ideas and information. And for me, it's all about giving and receiving support. My name is Lowell Ann, and I've been in business since 1996, helping people get to where they want to go. So it's a good idea for us to just review our operating principles a little bit this morning. We've been doing some pretty informal things of late, but I needed us to get back to a little bit more formality this morning. So our operating principles include relationships before business, remembering that we can get everything in life and business if we help enough other people get what they want. And I do have to give Zig Ziglar the credit for that comment or that phrase. We stand for positive possibilities and keep an open mind. And we never sell anything that we're not prepared to deliver impeccably. And I have one more piece, and that is that we all need to remember that inside a hangout, we have to remember that it's one voice at a time. If we want to jump in over what somebody else is saying, it blocks out and creates a big problem. So we need to remember, and sometimes we get into conversations, we like to jump in and really be conversational, but it's very difficult to do that within a hangout. So we really need to remember to give people a chance to finish what they're saying. And if you feel as though you really need to break in, a visual signal sometimes is a good idea. Okay, so I think that is all I need to say in terms of our intro. Now I want to invite our participants. We're starting to call people in the green room panel members. That seems to be a term that maybe more people would understand, a video panel member. So I'm going to invite everybody here to say their name and where they are and what they do, and you're welcome to share a win or something that you discovered or something that you would like to that's significant right now. So let's see, who shall we begin with? Vivek, I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to do the first person on this time because you're always the first person here. That's not fair. So I'm going to start the next one down, and that is Roland. Away you go, Roland.
Odds are 1 out of 10, and you grabbed me, and so I had to collect myself. Thank you. My name is Roland. I'm an internet marketer specializing in WordPress, YouTube video, and a lot of things. I'm co-partners with WeWake, and we have a little project called Init Mobile, inbound marketing for the internet technology mobile world. So I didn't even say my own phrase right, but you get the right idea. I'm really anxious to hear about more AdSense comments today, so I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Right on. Welcome. Great to have you here. And by the way, you forgot to mention your Saturday morning Smarties, a hangout that you do on Saturday morning, and that's where I got to know you. That's how I think some of us got to know each other, was through that. So.
Yeah, it's an exciting show, actually. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, right on. So the next person in the film strip here is Paul. How would you like to introduce yourself? And you look as though you're sitting in the dark today.
Well, Lowell Ann, that's why I'm here. I want you to take me out of the dark. Hi, I'm Paul. I'm in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, on the left coast of the North American continent. And we have a little company where we try to take ideas and turn them into profitable actions. And that's all.
Right on. Glad you're here. And Roland, you forgot to say where you are. He's in California.
I'm really trying to not to take up any more airtime than I have to. So please move on to the next person.
Okay, Jay, you're next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jay, and my company is Magi Studios, and I help people get started in the world of online marketing. I hail from Victoria, British Columbia, and I just like to say how metaphorically appropriate it is today that it's raining and overcast on the first day of school.
No kidding. Right. So I mean, we're making the assumption that everybody knows where British Columbia is.
Well, I think if we were to say Vancouver, then people would understand geographically where it is, because they're a little bit more on the map than Victoria is. So people get confused when we say Vancouver Island. It's like, well, I didn't know Vancouver was an island. You know, I've heard of Granville Island, but I've never heard of Vancouver Island. Right? I thought it was part of the main Canada there. So.
Oh dear. we get all kinds of comments, don't we? So yes, we are on the left coast of Canada. Right. So Craig, you're next in line.
I'm not next in line on my screen, but that's okay. My name's Craig, and I run a little company here that helps promote small businesses. I'm in Rochester, New York, so I'm over on the other side of the continent. But we're about 3 hours from Toronto. So, but I am in the States, not in the provinces.
Well, I mean, you're one of those people that we would designate as being a wannabe
honorary,
an honorary Canadian.
Victorian, I think. You know, honorary Victorian.
Yeah, one of these days I'm actually going to get out there and meet all the people that I've interacted with over the years.
Yeah, and you could become a tour guide and then write your whole trip off as an expense.
Wow.
You probably know more about our city than we do collectively.
I was going to say, probably does.
Social marketing is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Right. Oh dear! So I'm glad you made it. You're down off the ladder today.
Oh, I need to go buy another gallon of paint, so I figured I'd come in and join you guys while I was waiting. We got a couple more days before the rain hits here, so.
Okay.
It's supposed to be in the 90s. I think that's like 32 for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutally hot towards the end of the week and raining. So. Yeah, I'll be online writing away as long as the thunderstorms and the lightning let me.
Roland says, for the dyslexic among us, maybe we should explain the the right and the left coast. Oh, the left coast is the west coast. And the east coast is the right coast. Yeah, I have a girlfriend who, if you say go left and right, she'll say which left.
Well, even though I'm in New York State, I'm significantly long distance away from the city. We're closer to Toronto than we are to New York City. So.
Yes, right on. Yeah. Okay. So, Barbara, how about you? Would you like to introduce yourself this morning?
Hi, I'm Barbara. Does my sound all right now?
No, it's very crackly.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm from the left coast, but south, California, Southern California, and I will stop talking now because I don't want to mess up Yeah.
Okay. Thank you and welcome. You're welcome here, Barbara. And Alana, how about you? Oh, maybe she's stirring her dinner. I may have to go back to her. She's not there. So Heidi, welcome here, and you look pretty good now. You want to introduce yourself?
I think she's frozen.
Maybe. Yeah. We did start a little bit late this morning, and I might mention that we have had some technical problems. I myself had to go in and out because the transmission was crackly, very similar to what we were hearing with Barbara. So I don't know what's happening with YouTube this morning, but
it's like we're broadcasting on a Philco radio or something.
So Alana, there you are. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, my name is Alana Birmingham. I live in Ireland, and it's about 5:15 here, but I have a website, Online Income and Resources, and so I promote affiliate marketing, and I also do part-time virtual assistant work. So those are my two projects. They keep me pretty busy.
Busy is good. Well, welcome here. I'm glad you're here, Lana. So,
Thank you.
It looks as though Heidi is frozen still. So, Weewick, and I knew that I left him to the last purposely because I know he has a little short presentation to share with us because he went to the Google conference in London, so he's going to give a very short little presentation on what happened there.
Yes, my name is Vivek. I have been a Google Rising Star since January this year, and I was invited to attend Top Contributor Meetups 2016 London. So let me do a screen share and yeah, Google Product Forum is one where I gained the Rising Star status. So it's where people who use Google products come to when they have a problem. So they come from all over the world, which means when we interact with them and try to provide help, we have to be aware of the cultural differences. If one is not sensitive, then one would get into difficulty almost immediately. So let me share what I learned at the Google Top Contributor Meetup 2016 London. We actually spent, I think, about an hour and a half on this topic there in the conference itself, but I'm not going to spend that much time here. So yeah, on screen you would see myself with a Googler who is in AdSense department. So I thought it's appropriate to show his face since the topic today is AdSense. So he actually helped me get that Google logo that I'm holding there while taking the picture. So let me share a few memorable moments with some photos. This is community manager for Hangouts. Her name is Vanessa. This is John Muller. He is a Googler and works on Webmaster Help. He hosts Hangout on Air and explains what Google looks for in every website. If you have questions about what you should and should not do on your website so that your Google ranking is high, he is the man. So the lady in the middle here is Crystal Coleman. She is the community manager for Gmail, and on the right of the photo is Grace Chang, who is a senior community manager at Google for Maps. This is a picture of Stephanie, who prefers to be called as the lady from Uncle, which is her YouTube channel name. She is a Google top contributor for YouTube. She is German, who spent her childhood in India and is now settled in Scotland. So multiculturalism at its best. So here is what I have understood about the West. Visible aspects are on one side. People are very logical. They believe in doing as they are told. Their need to be an expert is very visible. There is visibly a lot of money, status, and power. But the corresponding values are fairness. Their value systems are based on 10 commandments. They obey authority, and they see their power and position in the world as a means to do good. I come from the East, and these are my visible versus values. People are very creative, which annoys most logical people in the West. I believe in solving the problem. I don't see anybody as an expert, and I never like to be portrayed as an expert. But that's what my title is going to be, Google Product Expert. Family, society, and influence are visibly important for me. The corresponding values are make the most of what we have. Seeking liberation is most valuable for me. I obey values rather than any commandments, which may come across as disobedience, as I don't believe that there are any experts. Everything I have is a means to liberation, nirvana, mukti. So what I'm saying now is for people from the West. Next time when you interact with someone from the East and he or she begins with, I don't know, but I want to know, when they say that, never think that this is an opportunity for you to teach this ignorant person, because he or she may very well know much more than you do. And here is a hint for anyone from the East. For your own liberation, come up with 10 commandments of your own and tell them to the people from the West. Here is one for everyone from the East or the West. Beware of entitlementitis. This is a dangerous disease where one believes that they are entitled for certain things. So, very dangerous. So that is my short presentation. So that's what I learned during the conference.
Interesting that the conference talked about multiculturalism and working with different sets of values. That's quite interesting. Liberation from what, Vivek?
Just liberation from the world, whatever. Those are the basic Hindu values.
So liberation from a problem, how to get free from a problem.
Yeah, if you stop someone in the let's say you stop someone in an Indian village and you ask him what's what do you think is the most important thing in life?
Right.
He's going to say, I want to be liberated.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I want to be liberated from this life, so I can go go to the next level. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I have to say I kind of reacted to the piece about the West because I don't know. I've never thought of myself as obeying, but maybe that's how other people see us. I don't know. But I'm very much aware of the importance of being able to look at those concepts. Having worked in the North, in the Arctic, for a big portion of my life, where I worked with Inuit and First Nations people, and both of those cultures have a very, very different view on life and approach to value system and so forth. So I really I think it's interesting that your conference really looked at the various value systems and how that impacts the way we think.
In one sense, they had to, because the conference itself had a lot of people from Switzerland, at least 2 or 3 from Canada, in fact.
Really?
Yeah. A couple from Belgium, lots of places. So Germany.
Yeah. Well, and there are differences. There's no question. So yeah, that's really so something for us all to remember, that we stumble on various different parts of the country, and I mean when you were working within your own country, I mean I could tell you that there's a huge difference between the way people think on the West Coast or the left coast from the way they think on the East Coast in Canada. And the cultures according to our provinces are very different, and I'm very much aware that that's also true in the States. Very true. You know, we know that we can hear the difference between people who live in the North and the South and the East and West. But that's the value of what we're doing here. We're doing something, we're interacting with people on an international level, and that's going to help us all grow. So thank you for sharing that, Wiwek. So this morning we were going to talk about Google AdSense, and just by way of a little bit of background to remind everybody, this all came up because of the changes that have been announced by Google, that we're no longer going to be able to link to our Hangouts, etc., from the Google Plus side using the event page. So if you want to host or run a Hangout on air, you must now do it. Well, I guess it's after the 12th of this month or something, so it's within a few days. If you want to do that, you've got to do it on the YouTube side. And if you desire to embed your video on your website, and as Roland and I discovered earlier last week, also if you want to post your video even into Google Plus, if you haven't done what they're suggesting you need to do, it will take you over to back to the YouTube side. So I had that experience with a young man who posts in my community this week, and I clicked on the link that was in the Google Plus community, and it took me away from the community over to YouTube. So that meant that if I wanted to, I watched it, and if I wanted to make a comment, I had to go back to the community to do the comment. And that's probably because that person had not done all the things that are required by YouTube. So if you want to embed your YouTube video anywhere else, there are a couple of conditions. One of them is you have to set up an AdSense account. You don't necessarily have to use it, but you have to set up an AdSense account, and you have to have monetization. You have to have that turned on so that you can determine whether there are going to be ads seen on your video. So the conversation last week got us thinking, well, what the heck is AdSense? I know that I did a little bit of I got so far with it, and I suddenly stopped because I realized I really didn't fully understand it well enough. So last week basically the way I saw AdSense was that it's basically Google's affiliate program. And so that's when I asked Jay, do you know about it? What can you tell us about it? And we decided we would talk about that this week. So Jay, what do you know about AdSense and how it works and why we might want to use it or we might not want to use it?
So yeah, I guess what we'll do is the W5 here, right? The who, what, where, when, and why. So we'll start with what is AdSense. So AdSense essentially gives webmasters, people who have websites, the ability to place ads on their website or on their YouTube channel or YouTube videos and receive basic small commission payments if someone were to click or engage with any of those ads that would show up within wherever you placed it. So, and it's a very small payout. So we're talking about, and it's dependent on, the actual ad. So that's one aspect of AdSense. Now the other aspect of AdSense directly ties in with Google AdWords, where you can become an advertiser. And when you place ads, you can say, all right, well, show my ads to people who have, place my ads to people that have AdSense on their websites or their YouTube channel or their YouTube video. And then so that would make it, so let's say my ad is about dog training, okay? And Craig has a dog training website that has AdSense on it. And my ad is for how to teach a puggle to sit. And let's say Craig has a page on his website on puggles, right? And it has the words on, you can train them to sit and this and that. So my ad, and he has an AdSense on there. So my ad would then essentially show up on Craig's website, okay? Or if he has a video on puggles or something like that. Okay, so that's essentially the two spectrums of AdSense. So there's your advertiser where you pay money, and then you're an advertisee where you place these ads on your site and you receive money from Google. Okay, essentially you're the middleman from that point. Now, why would you want to use it? Well, it's a strategy to monetize your website. So it's a way that you can earn small little bits of money on your website, okay, along with your videos. Okay, now the reason why they're implementing the AdSense into the YouTube thing is because, well, Google owns YouTube, and they want to strategize this as a channel, as a full-time channel where there's commercials on people's videos. Okay, So again, it's another way for an advertiser to use that channel to do ads, you know, and another way for YouTubers to make a little bit of money. Okay. Now I do stress a little bit, you know, because it really is there's a strategy where yes, you can make, you know, a good amount of profits from AdSense, but you need to be writing a plethora of information, or you have to be doing a lot of videos to be able to make that, you know, an actual recurring income, you know, that's profitable to the point where you don't have to do anything else. So who would do this? Well, it's really anyone that has a website that has ongoing traffic to their website, or ongoing videos, you know, that are popular. You know, we're not talking about viral videos, but we're just talking about people that are doing full-time videos. Okay, so that's, you know, that's the type of person who can do it. So really, anyone that has a website that wants to start, you know, earning small residual income, you know, has the ability to do this. Okay, so what do you need to do? Well, you need to first sign up with AdWords. Now, I know that there's a strategy where there's two places where you can sign up to AdSense. One is actually on the AdSense website, so I think it's like google.com/AdSense. That's one place you can sign up, or you can sign up via your YouTube channel. Now, there's been some discussions in terms of the how quickly one could get approved, and it's faster to go through the YouTube way. And the reason why is because you're essentially saying, yes, I would like to place ads on my YouTube channel. So they already know your channel. They already know that you're using YouTube. With a website, you need to let them know what website you're planning to put the ads on, so they actually go out and manually look at your website, and that takes longer. So if you're interested in doing this, I would recommend, if you have a YouTube channel, to go through the YouTube channel route. Okay. So who, what, where do you place your ads? Okay. So quickly, where do you place your ads? So with YouTube, it's kind of done for you automatically. So the type of ads that can be on YouTube are three different types of ads. One is a video commercial where within I think it's 10 seconds, there's a button that says skip ad. There is another 15 or 30-second commercial where you do not have the option to press that skip ad button. And then there is banner placements within the ad or on the right-hand side. Okay, each of those ads pay out different fees. As an advertiser, each of those three ads cost different. Okay. Now on the website part, you know, you can place your ads. Usually, you can really place your ads anywhere on your website, but there's a specific strategy that's recommended, and that is actually posting the. You get a little piece of code that you put in your website. You post that strategically within your content instead of like on a side banner or widget or wherever. And the reason why is if you directly embed it within your content, you're more likely to get people to click on your ads. Okay. Also, the ads are going to be more relevant to the content that's within your website or your post. Okay, because one of the ways that they decide on which ads get shown on your website is based on your content. So what it does is it cross-references your content and ads that they have, and then kind of slots in a specific ad. So if your content is about, you know, training puggles how to sit, then they're going to look to see if they have, you know, dog training, puggles, sit, you know, those kind of things, and slot that in there. Okay. Again, you can, you know, post your ads, you know, wherever you want. So that's essentially the vanilla version of, you know, how that stuff all works. So I'd like to be able to give my personal editorial on AdSense. if I may.
We'd love to hear it.
Okay.
I was muted. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. I was just waiting for the go ahead. All right. So my personal opinion on AdSense is that, you need to decide where you want your traffic, your people to go. So now if you have a direct funnel that you're taking people to a specific place on your site, right? So what is the end result of your pages? What is the end result of your posts? And what is the end result of your entire site? Where do you want to direct people? If you have that in place, so if you're wanting people to go to a specific, page or place within your site, then I do not recommend that you put AdSense on your website, because then you are then taking away that potential ability to get a really good conversion funnel to wherever you need to go, or wherever you want your people to go. Okay, so that in essence is from a user experience perspective, right? Now, if you don't have any kind of real funnel in place, then yeah, of course you can put AdSense on, but you need to be writing a lot and adding lots of posts, which then causes a lot of traffic to come in. Okay. From a technical perspective, in my personal opinion, I think that AdSense, if you have a lot of it and you're kind of not using it well or appropriately or properly, like you have ads on the side and whatnot, this can actually, I think, affect your SEO, your search engine rankings, because from the perspective of the search engines, you are doing the following. You are getting people to come in from search, land on your page, read a little bit of your content, people click on an ad, go away on your site. Okay, so they perceive that as not a really good user experience. We'll call that essentially a bounce rate. So when you have ads kind of right on the top of your content, and a lot of people are clicking on them, that increases your bounce rate. And a bounce rate basically means that it's taking people away from your site within the first 60 seconds, essentially. So Google looks at that and goes, okay, so they're coming in from this keyword, but they're leaving really quickly. So that's telling us that they're not creating a really good user experience. I know there's some irony here because it's product and Google product, but they actually don't talk to each other in many cases within these specific departments. So it's a robot, it's a bot that's reading this, right? So therein causes one of the issues, especially if you start a new site and you have zero or little traffic when you're putting ads on there, right? So that's my personal opinion. I don't use AdSense personally because I have a direct funnel that I want people to go to. I do not want to take people away from that and earn pennies on the dollar versus more residual type of income.
And certainly from where I sit is a very key point, because if I'm embedding everything that I'm doing on my website, it's because I want to bring them to my website, and then why would I want them to leave again? So that's a really, really key point. It's really important to know exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. You've got to be really clear. Yeah. So I saw Roland texted. He has a question for Jay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. I look at this like, especially if you're a small business just starting out, you don't have the kind of traffic to really take advantage of AdSense, and nor will it really pay off in the long run if you're trying to brand yourself. If you're really trying to build your own thing, so to speak, as an internet presence, the whole concept is we don't want to send people away from our website. And the point of our website, if it's to expose the knowledge and understanding and perspective and the facts about a certain subject, we really want to keep the people there and focus on that. It seems to me that even AdSense would defeat the purpose of that, or add to the defeat of the purpose. And therefore, I would rather take 3 people who I attracted this month and engage in a conversation and actually build a relationship that's worth something than to have 30 or 40 or 50 or hundreds of people pass by my name just to go somewhere else. And I wouldn't be worried about getting my SEO up for Google sense if I had the traffic, which is really kind of like, you know, the push-pull, what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But it seems to me that it's all in regarding the intention of the person who's mastering the site. What do they want? Do they want to market themselves, or are they thinking about the few cents that can be made, you know, the low-hanging fruit? Well, it's not even low-hanging fruit. I mean, it's like the seedling, you know, and for me, it's a waste of time. I don't spend any time really working or thinking about AdSense. It's just a ticket to ride, basically. So that's just what I wanted to add.
Yeah, it's essentially, you know, a person who wants to build a site that has AdSense on, they need to have that mindset right from the inception of the actual website. I want to build a website and just have ads on it. I don't want to create a conversion funnel. So, for example, like online news websites, perfect examples of having websites where it's a short, meaningless interaction with anticipation that they go back to that particular website with the intent of reading things, okay? So that's why you see like Huffington Post and, you know, New York Times and LA Times and all these kind of online news websites that are essentially pepper sprayed with ads all over the place, because they don't have conversion funnels. They don't have like, hey, subscribe to our paper edition, right? Because they know that's not how the online world works, right? So they understand that placing ads on their site, you know, helps them pay for their online version of their websites, as advertising on their paper versions help them pay for their paper versions, right? So, you know, personally, I think it's grasping at straws, right? But you know, and that's why a lot of ads are seen within their own videos, right? Because AdSense for YouTube is really not the only solution for video monetization. If they have private video hosting, they can have systems using a thing called Outbrain and other kind of monetization websites that can place ads over top of these kind of private videos. So, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, kind of continuing what Roland was saying is the person needs to have that intent to do an AdSense site right off the bat, versus like, oh, okay, well, this might be a nice way to kind of make a little bit of money here and there, right? You know, back in the day, and say 10 years ago, AdSense was the Wild West of online income, right? Where people would certainly receive a lot more income than, you know, what it is now. In fact, people used to do something called arbitrage, where they would buy a keyword for a penny, and then they would hopefully get people to click on ads on their website for 10 cents, right, with a 9 cent earning, right? So that's hence why I call it the Wild West of online income, right? So it was just all these different crazy strategies, but that's just not the case anymore. So, you know, just be aware, you know, if you're going to start getting onto the AdSense bandwagon, I really encourage you to really take a step back and think about your overall strategy, including YouTube, you know, because if you're doing videos, which I recommend, you know, as it's a great strategy for an additional source of traffic, really think about whether you want to click that, I want to place ads on this particular video or this particular channel, right? So, you know, you just really want to be aware of that kind of stuff, especially if you're going to be doing videos where you're embedding your videos on your website, you know. So it's just be aware of that.
So Vivek has just added a comment. If you want to support a YouTube video creator, don't skip the adverts showing up on his or her channel as you watch. So I had something occurred to me as a result of a conversation with my walking partner this morning. She said, I have block ads, or she has within her, it must be something to do, it must be something connected to the browser, ad blocker. And so she said, I don't see any ads. All I see is something that when I go to a site, all I see is a little thing that says there's an ad here. So I mean, what's the connection between AdSense and ad blocker? Can anybody talk about that at all?
I think Craig can do it because I think Craig can do it because he has I think he actively uses that feature.
I do actively use an ad blocker, and it's amazing how clean the websites are when you use an ad blocker. But the ad blocker that I have also shows me how many ads are on a page. It puts up a little number when I go onto a page, and it says 27.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, they're really banging away at it. But I don't see the ads. All I see is spaces. And often for the sites like Jay was talking about, where the online magazines like Forbes and some of the other big ones, they won't even let you access the site if you have an ad blocker running. They say, oh, well, you have an ad blocker running, so if you want to watch our site, then you have to turn it off. And I'm like, click, bye. So anyway, the what is picked up by the ad blockers is something called an iframe, and most of the AdSense ads are included inside of an iframe. So whenever you have an iframe on your site, the ad blocker will block that. That doesn't just happen for ads. It also happens occasionally for other things that are put inside. Sometimes scripts are included inside iframes, and things like, well, I know in the case of Wealthy Affiliate, there's a site Rubik's, or not site Rubik's, but a Jaxi, which is a keyword search. There's a little snippet of code that you can put in that allows you to do 1 or 2 searches to get you interested in getting Jaxi. Jaxi is a wonderful thing, but the snippet of code is included in an iframe, so it gets pulled out if you're running an ad blocker. So basically, that the iframe is the trigger for the ad blockers. There are ways around it. You can put images in and link the image, so you're basically creating your own ad, and the ad blockers won't block that. So there are ways to get your content shown and get people to click over to where you want, but AdSense is blocked every time.
It is wow, interesting. So so for those of us who just want to use the YouTube. And I must say, I should mention that I've been recording little videos to put over on Facebook and on my website, etc. That I've just been using the software that goes with my webcam, and I just record something there and then just upload that without ever needing to use YouTube at all. So I mean, there are alternatives to, I mean, this is all about I mean, if we're solopreneurs and we're trying to make a living and draw people to our website, we need to find as many ways for them to come to our website and not leave our website. So, and it's all about that I mean, understanding that, look what just happened within this last little while. Everybody's struggling, trying to figure out how they're going to compensate for the fact that Google has decided not to link Hangouts to Google Plus any longer, and the event page is gone, etc., etc. It points up to me that the quicker we can become self-sufficient and do things on our own website. Yes, we do pay for hosting on our own website, but the more we can can do that, the more proficient we become at that. I'm not asking anybody to leave Google or any of that. I'm just saying, as a solopreneur, I realize that I need to learn how to be self-sufficient.
And you need to spread yourself out among various platforms so that if one of them goes away or has a radical change, you're
Absolutely.
not.
You're not just completely completely lost. So what is there's a comment. Alana is saying, I think AdSense makes sense if you have a well-established website that won't be hurt too much by people clicking on ads. Yeah. So and Vivek is saying, I agree with that. Yeah, and you just have to be clear about what you want that website to do. That's your main piece. So, but I think this conversation about what it is and why you might want to use it and what are the impacts of it is important, because I think a lot of people who got displaced over there on Google Plus and they're trying to figure out where to go and what to do, and now they're finding that they have to do all these things in order to make use of their YouTube videos. It's important for people to know what is that, and why would I want to use it, or why would I not want to use it. So I hope that everybody is pretty clear on that now as to what it is. So as a business coach, I'm going to say, be really clear about what it is you want your website to accomplish. Yeah. Craig, I saw you wave.
Yeah, the one thing that I've been doing to get around, often I'll have small conversations, but they won't necessarily be hangouts on air. And I wanted to make the distinction that what Google has moved is the hangout on air, which automatically records on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But there is another hangout, and it's basically a private conversation. And if you want to record those, I use a software called Camtasia, which is basically a screen capture, and you can pull in video and audio, or audio and stuff. And the nice thing about that is when it's saved, it goes into like an editor. And so I can say, well, yeah, we were just joking around here. I can cut this piece out. Or, and I can make a more professional video. At that point, I can upload it to YouTube mm-hmm. and use it. So that's one other solution, is to, do a private recording of a public event or something like that.
Yeah, so yes, I'm glad you brought that up, Greg. There is a difference between a hangout on air, which is what gets recorded and uploaded. Well, it doesn't get uploaded to YouTube anymore. It's already there. But a hangout on air, there is a broadcast and it is recorded. A video call. A hangout video call is strictly a non-recorded conversation between, I guess you can have up to 10 people there, though. So it's more suited to having one-on-one conversations, and it's connected to now the Hangouts.
That's still inside Google Plus. I did test that last Friday. You were part of that.
Yeah.
And you can have up to 10 people. And so that was a private hangout conversation. It was not a hangout on air.
Right. Absolutely.
And it did not create an event when I started it. And people were like, I'm so confused because there's no event.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are missing the event, but it's gone, so let's stop moaning about it. This is my philosophy. Let's not moan about something you have no control over.
Just move forward.
Just move on.
Yeah, write an angry letter, throw it out, burn it, move on.
Yeah, right, burn it. So we're
Don't suffer entitlementitis.
yes, right. That's a good connection, Wiwek. We're not entitled. We're using all this real estate out there on YouTube for free, so quit moaning about it. So I see we're about 2 minutes from 10, and by the way, I really need us to finish on time at 10 o'clock this morning, because I have a meeting happening in the building here that I really must attend. So we have a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any parting shots that they would like to?
Roland has some thoughts there, based on the comments there.
Thank you, Jay. Andrew Hatchett is. I wish he was here. I was really looking for him to jump in. He's been in the side chat, occupied somewhere. And he's been doing some experimenting and research with the concept called unified chat. And he may have indeed a possible solution to augment what we lose with the event pages. And it's a little bit contrived. You have to do this, and then you have to do that, and so forth. But it is something to pursue, so I encourage everybody to watch the flow of content coming from Andrew, because I think, if nothing else, he's going to come up with the collective solution as fast as anybody I know.
User to User is his community name in Google+. User numeral 2 user. Yeah. Yes,
exclamation mark.
I saw his note there that said he intended to come, but something came up. So, yeah. Any other parting comments before we stop the broadcast? If not, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and I really do encourage our viewers to get in touch with and get to know the members in on the panel here. They all do wonderful work, and know that in the future, if you're a viewer and you would like to come in and join us, there's a way to do that. When I post my posts within Google+, I always say, if you would like to come into the green room, please say so here, and I do check that to make sure that I'm including any people that want to. So I'm seeing, Paul, you're saying looking for new tools. There's a link there, and it can only be shared here. I can't share it on because I lost the comment tracker due to technical problems we had before we started. So those of us who are in the panel can look to quick before we close to click on that so something opens for you. So thank you all for joining us. I have an idea for next week's session, but Alana's job popped off. I was going to ask her. I guess I'll have to do it another way. So this is Lo-Alan saying goodbye for today, and thank you, Jay, for sharing your knowledge with us. And thank you, Wiwek, for giving us that little quick tour of that Google event that he attended, and I guess there will be one in the States here, not too far from now. And what's that mean, Paul? Does that mean goodbye or hooray?
That means props from the old one of the old hangout things, giving somebody yes. High fives.
Oh, in my choir, if you want to get attention, it's this.
Yeah.
So, So thank you all for joining me this morning, and we'll see you all again next time. This is Lomaland signing off for today.